Okay, so here we are in Unity of the Triangle in Raleigh, North Carolina, and we are teaching this class, Prosperity, Spiritual Economics, by the book Eddie Butterworth. I got a book here. We're doing it in both English and Spanish. Today's the English class. I know you're in the Spanish base, but hopefully you're bilingual and you understand. And I have a wonderful group of people here, and they're really brilliant and nice and prosperous. And I was just providing you with a definition of what prosperity is according to Unity. Prosperity, and I ask you to write it down. Prosperity is a state of consciousness where there is no awareness of lack. A state of spiritual well-being that comes from knowing that God is, hopefully I'll pronounce this one correctly, inexhaustible source of all good.
You did.
Good. Available for every person. Okay. So what is prosperity? State of consciousness that cannot see lack. I was just looking for a marker, right? I mean, I'm going to the really basic level, and I couldn't find, and I went into the awareness that there's no lack. I have the need for a marker, and I'm just going to hopefully find it because that's just the way it is, right? I see no lack. And it's a state of spiritual well-being, knowing that God's unlimited good is unlimited. Nothing can ever deplete it. Okay? Okay. I used last week an example from my own life, how like 20 years ago I really learned what true prosperity is. It's a state of well-being in every area of your lives that comes from your inner sense of peace and awareness of God as the source. And the quick story is that I started my dad's business, and there was this man who owned 7 jewelry stores, and he was very wealthy and was an excellent customer in the top 5 in the company. He bought a lot, but he had a reputation for being rude and angry and not very respectful. And I was supposed to go and see the guy and introduce myself as the new rep. And when I went there, I was 24. I remember even what I was wearing. And immediately when I said, hey, I'm Ana Quintana, I'm, Mr. Quintana's daughter, I'm going to be servicing the account, whatever. I remember he went, you're joining the rest of us that were slave of that dollar. Really? Is that what I'm here for? To be a slave of the dollar? And he says, yeah, that's what I said. Oh, well, yeah, I know how to react. But, ultimately I managed to, build a friendship with a customer. And I started observing how, for him, it was essentially about money. I didn't see any family with him. He was not in the best health condition. And then I started wondering that, I saw my dad, well, children want to be with him. He seems to be happy. He has friends. He tends to be in good health. So I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. It's, he had, this good guy was really rich in money, but was not prosperous, because prosperity is a state of overall wellness, okay? I know, where's that noise coming from? Okay, so, and then we did explain about the concept of substance. So it's the very first chapter, and substance. Can anybody want to tell me what you think, or you remember that substance is?
Well, it's what's underneath. It's the one word that describes substance.
It comes from the Latin substare, which is like underneath everything. It's like the building block of everything we see in the external world. It's the foundation. It's like, I like to think of like the potter with the clay.
Yeah.
It's like the clay,
it's waiting for us to shape it.
It's waiting upon a consciousness that says, yes, I'm worthy of my good. Yes, I'm worthy of my health. Yes, I'm worthy of my dream job, right? It's just sitting there. I mean, it's like everything it's even in unity we say God is substance. It's all present. But the substance will respond according to your and my belief. Okay, so we did go over substance too. Okay, and I did mention to you that not only it's a metaphysical concept, but it's something that quantum physics has validated also. Okay.
I had an example this week.
Yes.
Can I share?
Yes.
Well, I said after the class, I said I want to create $200, and I just gave it away.
This is from last week?
Yeah, Monday night. After Monday night, I said I want to create $200. I don't know where. I have a job coming up in September.
Yeah.
So I got this friend of mine said, I want you to help me with putting my workshop together, because that's what I do. And so I went over there Wednesday, and she talked to me 3 hours, and I took notes, and I took all of her information. I went home and I started creating. She said, I'll give you $20 an hour. And she wanted at least 15 hours. I went, I created $300. Well, as I was doing it, it was on a topic that I didn't, it was about organizations and structurals and systems. I had to do a lot of reading. I had to do a lot of research. And I noticed I said to myself in consciousness, this is not the kind of work I really want to do. I mean, I'm having a struggle to write. I mean, I can write a seminar almost on anything, but to do it good, I have to do the research.
Right.
So it's hour. I'm falling asleep reading all this boring stuff. And I thought, this is not good. So I did it on Thursday, all day Thursday, and on Friday I said, before I go into, I was 3 pages, an introduction and the 3 pages. I said, I better give her the information. So she read it. She goes, this is really good, but I'm going on a trip, so let's just stop right here. Let's just stop. I got to go on Tuesday. So I didn't earn $300. I earned $160. Instead of 11 hours, she paid me 8.
Mm-hmm. But it was like your choice.
That was not, the money was not the point. The point was, I said to the universe, this is not it. This is not what I want. So it didn't give me the $300. And I really believe with all my heart that I spoke it. I used the substance. I want to create it. Then I don't want to create it this way. And it stopped.
Right. But it gave you, by going through the experience, it really showed you this is not what I want.
Yes.
Had that not happened, you would have never discovered that, right?
Right.
So there's value in everything.
Right.
Right.
And it was value in that. I saw that I can let her mock the workshop, and I can tell her that delivered, that didn't deliver. But for me to take the content and to write an outline was not what I wanted to do. Right. But it was,
or maybe at $60 an hour, maybe.
Yes, yeah. If I'm going to do that, it's not going to be $20 an hour. But my point is, I think I
need an eraser. Can you give me an eraser? Yeah.
I shaped the universe because it stopped.
Yeah.
And I was okay with it.
But your point is how, our words, our thinking, our intentions have power, have creative power.
It was like,
right?
It was like I shaped it. I took that. I took my words, and I didn't know how it was coming. Then all of a sudden on Wednesday, she needed my help. And then by Friday, she said, that's enough. I'm going on a trip. Let's work when I get back.
Okay. Okay, perfect. So today, I asked you to share with me, and don't worry, Donna and Melissa weren't here, it doesn't matter, we can still have a good time. I was I created a questionnaire. This is not, I didn't take it from any book nor anything. This is just me. It's about 40 things that sort of like describe somebody with spiritual well-being, okay? And it's a self-assessment where you basically go true or false, or you mark the ones that you feel apply to you. And initially my intention was to give it to you and have you work on it. And, you know, it's not that I'm gonna be put down just to make you feel that this person has a higher consciousness. No, it was just a working tool. But as I was preparing for class, what came to me was like, no, I'm gonna ask them what they think needs to be asked. So that was the homework, okay? So we're gonna have a quick discussion, then I'm gonna give you the assessment, and we're going to analyze how the assessment falls basically into 5 areas. So my intention is that when you go forward in life, you go, these are the 5 areas that I need to, they become our goals, right? It's like, okay, if it's, and you're gonna see how one builds into the other. And this is just, not Eddie Butterworth, but this is after so many years of being in unity and living my own life. This is what I really have come to the conclusion to, which is all gonna be things that you're familiar with. But I'm bringing it in such a way, in a framework that you hopefully can remember and work with, okay? Okay. So I had asked you to give me 10 things that, you know, and we just, so it becomes even more clear. Think of, if you're gonna measure someone's fitness, what do you ask, right? Well, how much does a person weigh? How much fat level or exercise routine, right? So just to put it into perspective. Okay, so then I want to hear, and what do you think some of the things we need to assess in figuring out the prosperity consciousness of somebody? So who wants to start? Yeah, Rebecca.
I wrote down the daily meditation and affirmation to stay in that prosperity consciousness. What
So we say like daily practice?
Daily practice.
Daily spiritual practice, okay. Gosh, you won't believe that this was the first thing I had. She's so proud.
I'm learned from the best.
Okay.
I have a strong Christ/God consciousness, to know that you're not alone, loved unconditionally. It's just kind of an attitude.
Like an awareness of give me one word.
An awareness of unconditional love from the
Okay,
universe.
okay.
That,
Awareness of love, but that what's that relationship with, you know, tell me more about awareness of what? Of God?
And this,
I mean, when I did this, I was thinking about someone I consider prosperous, and that person does have a strong sense of
Connection, would you say?
Yeah. I
Okay,
guess
strong connection with
Yeah.
spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes. Because they know they're loved unconditionally.
So strong connection to God as love, of right?
Okay.
For God as love. Okay.
RevAna.
why?
Yes.
I put down that she, the person I was thinking of, has really clearly set her intention. Her intention is very clear and concise. She doesn't waffle on it. You know, she's identified her intention and has connected.
So would you say? Oh, so what I'm saying is that most people here just pick somebody that to use prosperous and just start, which is a great way of doing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what you're saying is that person, it's like it's a co-creator. It's like it's aware.
A co-creator with Christ, someone who has really determined that for business, that I understand that most people that go into businesses fail. I understand all
Yeah.
that, but I'm not looking at the lack. I've just set my intention that I am a child of God, that the highest power is love because God is love, and this business will prosper. because I'm a co-creator with Christ, that kind of mentality.
Okay, so it's
And
so it's the capacity to co-create with
So
intention.
she set an intention, it's not,
Okay,
it's
so
not
it's
scattering all over the place.
Is it falling into like clarity of purpose?
co-creating.
Yeah, that sounds good. That's, yeah, very clear. Like,
with
my
like
business will succeed. My
intentions, or the power of intentions. Okay, great. I love it. Okay, Rose.
Well, I put down, what is their relationship to tithing and donating? What is their
So like
philosophy around
giving and
giving
okay.
back?
general.
Okay, great.
Uh,
So like the giving or tithing habits.
yeah,
Mhm. Actually, one of my favorite unity ministers, Reverend Jean Rosemergy, in another book that is one of my prosperity Bibles, he wrote a book, Even Mystics Have Bills to Pay. And he does a chapter on the whole tithing and giving, and he says that, you know how we tend to think of prosperity demonstration as how much I'm receiving, you know, like, oh my gosh, I manifested the $200 or I manifested this eraser or whatever. He says, no, that should not be the criteria. The criteria should be how much are you giving? Because he says that giving, it's just part of our divine nature. So it's like, and I love that change of perspective.
Yeah,
Because we tend to say, oh, I took this prosperity class and now I found this perfect job and my bills are being paid, which is, yeah, but it's like, it's a deeper, higher concept. Okay? Okay, great.
well,
What else?
it completes the cycle.
It completes the
If
cycle.
you give, if you get, you gotta give. So
And one
kind
of the things
flow.
we're gonna be doing, I'm gonna teach you, I'm gonna discuss with you, he expresses 5 levels of giving, how we go from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's really interesting, but that's to keep you interested so you come back. Okay, who else? Who else? Nikki.
I guess one of my questions is how much do you enjoy your work?
So, okay, the level of enjoyment at work, perfect. Yes. Actually, that's what I spoke of on Sunday here. How connected are you to your career, to your calling? Okay. Anybody else?
I do have 2 more, but I don't know.
Okay.
if they fit in.
Anybody else?
Yeah. Oh, you mean that hasn't spoken?
Yeah.
Confident in their God-centered life.
So like faith, a person with faith, level of faith.
With faith and love, yes.
Okay. What else?
Go ahead. I had, with, like, how did you handle a time of struggle?
So how do you handle challenges? Okay, that's true. Like problem, we say problem management or or crisis. Okay. I'm looking for something key.
I don't know
Yes.
if this is key, but it spoke to me, I put bone deep knowing that the presence of God and the substance of God is the source for everything, my source for everything.
Okay, so not only faith, but see the idea of God as the source. Okay, Rebecca, you're hot. You're into it.
2 in a row, girl.
Okay, God as source.
I have one banana.
Okay. Okay.
Is that the puppy?
Most people, I don't know. No, the puppy cannot do.
Typing, yeah, okay.
Okay.
Is the puppy here?
Oh, okay. Oh, whatever. I put it in some office. So.
Puppy, I met it the first
No,
time.
he's not a puppy. He's 2 years old.
No, oh, to me, it wasn't your puppy. I met this little small one.
Oh, no, that's somebody else. Okay.
Surrender is what I'm thinking.
Okay.
There's like our plan and how we think it's gonna go, but there's
The capacity to surrender.
to surrender.
Yes, that's a good one. So it's like, can we say it, a person not attached to outcome,
Detached.
Yeah.
detached,
That's right.
detached,
But she is invested in the process.
detached, but
She's invested in the process, but
Invested,
she's released
Yeah,
the
there's a
outcome.
quote in here.
But like I was saying on Sunday, that the universe hates the energy of desperation. You know, when you're too attached, it has to be, you know, it's like you're making your decrees, you're setting your intentions, you're doing your work, and then you're surrendering and allowing. Yes. Okay, what else?
Would your relationship with your environment, like your home and your place of work, how you relate to your environment, would that be something?
So like harmony, like, you know, you live in harmony.
Yeah, you live
Okay.
and work and play in harmony.
When I respond to this, I was thinking, you know, I was trying to identify some internal, you know, values kind of thing. What, you know, because like the second thing after consciousness of, you know, of God being the source and all that,
Yeah.
I figured, you know, the person who I would, you know, if I were to, I mean, as I strive for a prosperous mentality, I would first have to know me. I'd have to, you know, be totally accepting, forgiving of myself and all that kind of stuff. Because, I mean, I did this with me in mind, but also looking at a friend of mine who expects things to go her way. And that really amazed me when I observed that in her. And I thought, you know, I would sure like to have that attitude. And so
So how would you summarize that?
inside work first.
So what you're saying is that how we are managing our emotions, and you're close to what I'm looking. There's something key that has not been said, and it's key to a prosperity consciousness.
Is it climbing?
Yeah, that's true, but that's not what I'm looking for.
Is it your relationship with money?
That's true too. Let's get them there, like a relationship with money, you know, money, what our relationship with money is like, yes. But I'm looking for something that even, okay, to give you some clue, remember Newsom's last talk? What was the core of his message 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Moving above yourself.
No, it's the
No.
things, the 5 things that stop prosperity coming
Right.
in. And that's
Forgiveness
that
and
Anger.
So it's like, how are you managing your anger?
Your emotions,
Right? So it's like, okay, so.
how do you manage your emotions?
So it's like, if you're, it's almost how blocked you are.
Yeah.
If there's a lot of resentment
I got
and
it.
anger and
Anger,
unforgiveness.
defensiveness, judgment,
Right.
fear, and
Right.
ego.
Exactly.
And that's-
So there are blockers, so
So
it's
those
almost
are the
like
things that I
the
would-
blockers tell you a lot, okay?
The
Okay,
things that we covered didn't include the relationships with other people, which I found interesting, you know, in your example with, you know, your father
Yeah.
versus this gentleman who wasn't surrounded with.
so what you're
But
saying
that's
is
a
like,
level of
in
prosperity,
like,
or an
well,
example of your prosperity.
right, like, or how are other areas of our lives, like our job, our relationship, our health, right? So
All
it's like,
this would be reflective of
right,
that
yes.
being in that place.
Yes, you're gonna see it, yes. Okay, anybody else, so we can get to the goodies? Melissa, do you wanna wing it? No.
Maybe at the end, I don't even know, I missed the introduction. Can I ask you, what is your name?
Oh, I was here last week.
Yes,
I know it, but I came in late, I didn't get.
Nicola?
Nicola.
Oh.
Nicholas, tell us something. Even if you want to reject anything here, say that is not true, or
But they all overlap, but I guess something I wasn't said, like self-reliance, like not thinking that person owes me money, or like that my work owes me money. You know,
That's
sort of just like knowing, trusting that sort of like self-reliance. I don't know if that makes sense.
tell me more.
I'm not understanding it. I mean, it all ties in, you know, just like
Okay.
trusting that you're trusting in yourself.
Trust.
You know, yeah.
Faith and trust.
Yeah.
Now, there's one big thing that I have not heard, and I cannot start my questionnaire without it.
Then you gotta fight it.
So
Meditation.
is it an inside thing?
Meditation is a spiritual practice.
Yeah.
But something that I have not seen a person that has that it's experiencing scarcity. It's so, you're gonna go, oh, yeah, joy, but.
Gratitude.
Yes, gratitude. Gratitude.
When you said that, then I was like, oh yeah, everyone I
Yeah,
heard that as well,
yeah.
they have a lot of gratitude.
So, you know, years ago, I read Catherine Ponder, who is one of the big Unity's prosperity teachers. She shared the story of this lady who was a widow, and she had 5 children, and they were really doing extremely bad. I mean, she didn't even know how she was going to feed them next time. She was in a really dire economic situation. And she called the pastor, that's the way, the pastor of the church, saying, I'm in desperate situation. I don't know how I'm going to feed my children, and And the minister said to her, there's 2 things that will set off the prosperity, will open the doors of heavens for you. And what is that? Well, 2 things you need, and I like to think it this way, GG. What is GG?
Gratitude.
Gratitude and giving.
Giving, okay.
Okay, so she said, first, be grateful. How much money you have? $1? Be grateful for that $1. And then give something. And she said, that's my problem. I don't have anything to give. No, he said, no. Think deeper. And she hung up and she says, well, what can I give? And she remembered that her neighbor was sick. And she remembered that, you know, she said, well, I have a beautiful garden. So she went out, you know, gathered some flowers, went to the neighbor, paid him a visit, gave him the flowers, right? Gave her time and energy and good wishes. Soon after, within a week, she got some reimbursement refund from the IRS, you know. But just a simple story, but when each time, I hopefully you will remember this forever. Prosperity consciousness and the 2 G's are core. If you're not in gratitude and you're not in a giving mode, it's not gonna happen, I'm telling you. Okay? Okay, so I think this is pretty good. So how do you like it that having to think about it makes it more fun than me just giving you the question here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now, ta-da!
Yeah. Now you're gonna give it to us.
Thank you. Okay, I don't want you to be, this is for you, so it doesn't matter. Just be authentic and truthful, okay? And this is just a working tool.
Too.
Huh?
Authentic and condensed.
And then when you finish doing that, we are going to,
What are we doing with that? You hadn't told us what we're gonna do.
you're gonna answer it.
Oh, okay, there's a question.
Yeah,
So how does this?
Are there
keep on
questions
going.
too? How about that?
You just basically, this is a true or false for you, okay? Oh,
Back in front, right?
It's extra paper in there, I guess.
oh, okay, yeah, sometimes a copier. You guys have
Okay.
it?
Is it 1 page or 2 pages?
Yeah, one,
Okay.
okay.
I was like,
There you go.
You're just supposed to be there.
So just start saying, mark, either do a T or just mark the one that you feel applied to you.
Oh, this is a true or false.
True or false.
Okay.
For you. Oh gosh.
Do we put our names?
It's for you. I'm not gonna ask it back. And for those of you who are watching online, this is not for you. I'm doing my. You can visit. I gave the link in the feed for Unity Triangle Español, and it will give you the questionnaire in Spanish. Así que el cuestionario está disponible en español en nuestra página unitytriangle.org/español. Y si quieres y eres bilingüe, puedes aprovechar y contestarlo. ¿Ok? So people should know that in my classes, people get tested, okay? Un chistecito, que en mis clases se le da examen a la gente.
I don't quite understand number 16.
Neither do I.
Okay, 16.
Like if you have the belief that change is difficult,
That, right,
questioning that belief.
right. If you feel that for yourself, changing is something so difficult. Vamos a poner las ideas ahora. We're going to do this in this format.
That should be on play.
Ah, okay, okay, suspect, yeah, okay. Thank you. Remember, you can always go back and to the people who are online, again, you can go to unitytriangle.org, diagonal español, because I don't have it in English, I had it in online, but this is a bilingual group, huh? Sí. Todo el mundo, sí, sí. Okay. Are we almost done? Okay. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to create 5 categories. Okay? And then I'm going to split the group. We got 9 people or 10? Okay, well, we'll split the group and we're going to go over each one and we'll try to fit it in one of the categories. Okay? Ready? Okay. So let me just share something with you to why I'm using a triangle. Years ago, when my son was 2 or 3 years old, he had developmental issues, okay? And I was blessed enough to be led to a doctor, a developmental occupational therapist, who explained to me what his issues were. And she did a triangle, and she said, you know, a kid has to function physically and sensorily and emotionally and so on. And if one is not complete and solid, it affects the overall, right, the rest of the triangle. So I want you to picture yourself again as to what would the foundation of our prosperity consciousness be as the foundation for everything else.
God is your source.
Okay.
God is the source. Okay. God is supply and you are God.
Right. Okay. So would you say, so this has to, the way that I had it is like 2 parts. And when you say, Rose, this is how I label it. Awareness of truth. Right? And also how brilliant Rebecca, the very first thing she said was the very first thing that the questioner had, which is what?
Practice.
The practice.
The
Practice.
Okay, so then we're going to slash here and write spiritual practice.
This is knowing, and this is putting the knowing into action.
Right. This is knowing, but this is what is going to keep you aware.
Yeah.
Right? The practice, it's what's going to maintain the awareness, because in the world out there, there are different levels of awareness, and not necessarily, you know, you just lost a job or you have a certain specific situation. most people are gonna feel sorry for you. But if you have a practice and you connect with the inner wisdom and with the Christ presence in you, you can know differently, right?
Right.
So the practice is what's going to secure your awareness, right?
Yes.
Okay. Are we together? Are we all?
Yeah, you can be grateful, but if you don't continue gratitude, it's like
I'm grateful, but then something major happened, and I'm
not
like, no,
I'm
you
done.
know?
Yeah.
But then when I get back,
The next day.
right. And then, so, tell me more about the practice. What does that look like to you?
Well, I meditate every day, and then I have a string of beads that I go through these beads, and I divide them into 1/4 of them is all about gratitude. 1/4 of them, the very beginning, is all about knowing God and I are one, and then 4 of them is 4 things I release, and 4 things I breathe in, and then the last 4 is what I'm grateful for. And I go through those, and even if I don't have my
Great.
beads.
Tell me again. Okay, so you do, it's like 4 quadrants?
Yeah.
Come here so people can see how beautiful you are, Rose.
No,
No?
I mean, I can if you want me to, but I just,
See, I think the beads.
This was a church in Nashville. It was not the Unity Church, but the youth had these beads, and they sold them and made money, and they were so amazing to me
Yeah.
that I took these beads, and the first 3 is to atone. You atone yourself with the one God with those 3. I use the pink ones for gratitude, and the first 4 is that all is well, everything I need to know. It's
So the
me.
first 4, all is well.
Yeah, I go, everything I need to know, all is well, I'm loved by divine universe. Thank you, Mother, Father, God. Then the next 4 is I breathe out, things that I breathe out.
Like release.
Scarcity.
Right.
I release and breathe out. I'm unworthy, and I take 4 things and I release them. Then the pink ones is I thank you, Mother, Father, God, that they're gone. Then I breathe in 4 things that are I'm replacing them with love, health, whatever. Then thank you, Mother, Father, God. The last 4 is 4 things I'm grateful for, and usually I go off on that. I go more than 4, and then I usually thank God for my union with God, and I say all this in His name, so be it. Thank you, Mother, Father,
This
God.
is amazing.
It's kind of like how I guess Catholic does with rotaries.
Yeah.
I find some things.
Upgraded version.
It's a touchstone. I have made 8 of them. I mean,
It's that we don't need them, but we do.
yeah, we did.
It's a way of creating some structure, right? Right?
Consistency and.
Right.
Yeah.
I think this is amazing.
Yeah, I have some more at home.
You have?
Yeah.
I would love to see how can we get one.
Yeah, I have about 10. I made 10.
Oh,
I had a jeweler make me 10.
oh, okay.
So I could bring them to
Yes,
Perhaps
yes.
as a sign of
Sell them,
gratitude,
sell them.
we would pay you for them.
Right.
Yeah.
Those of us that are just, and then.
Well, if I don't have it in my little hands,
Yeah.
I use my fingers. I go 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you, Mother, Father, God. Then I go to I have the 4 things. I got it with an instruction sheet, so I can bring them to show to you. I think it'd be a great thing to make for the church. I mean, for the fundraising.
And actually, the youth director was planning on having something like that. Let's talk to her.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, so that's great.
That's
So
not
she has an
practical.
actual practice. It's like, something you practice with. You're using some symbol to keep you centered, to keep you in gratitude, right?
Yeah.
And when you finish doing that, how do you feel? Do you feel a stronger awareness?
Oh yeah, it's just like it
Yeah.
shifts everything.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it's my daily breath,
Right.
daily bread, but it's
Thank you for sharing.
That
What about-
actually really resonates with me because every time somebody I've done a class and they're like, stand in front of the mirror, I'm like, I don't have a problem looking at myself and seeing a beautiful, wonderful, amazing person. I haven't had a problem with that in ages. I need something like that where I'm centering my mind and my spirit to that instead of looking in the mirror and trying to read it off. I need it to be
Right.
And
that moment.
I take it with me on walks as well. I'll put it on a bracelet and I just go through my walk, and I know when you said practices of gratitude, it's in there.
It's in there.
I love that.
Anybody else would like to share what spiritual practice means to you? Yes.
I've adapted these 6 things, and it's really from Robert Kiyosaki, if any of you guys are
Yes, I
familiar.
know. Uh-huh.
But you start out with these things each day, and it's like I really like the practice. And it's meditate, so it's like, and you can divide it up however many minutes you want to spend. So it doesn't have to be like a
Meditate.
huge thing.
Uh-huh.
But I usually do that first. And these I move around a little bit, but read it, where you're actually reading something that's nurturing to
So
your
you
spirit.
meditate and then read something?
Or a write.
Read or write?
So I'll write, I'll say write it, read it, see it,
See it?
where you do some visioning work,
Uh-huh.
what you want to see, speak it, where I'm
Speak it.
doing my affirmations. And then the last one is move it, so you're getting up and moving your body.
I love that
Amazing.
too.
I love that.
Yeah.
You see the luminaries we got here? You live the Triangle, Raleigh, North Carolina. So meditate, read, or write, see
Well,
it, or
yeah.
both.
You do both,
Uh-huh.
just a matter of the
Speak
order.
it and move it.
See it, yeah.
See it,
See it.
visualize
See
it.
it, speak
Right.
it, yeah,
So
read
you-
it, write it, see it, speak it, move it.
So how do you go about speaking it? Once you see it, you just speak it out, what you see?
No, I have actually some
Things written
right
out,
now,
yeah.
some money mantras that I.
Yeah,
Like
good,
meditation
okay.
or something.
Affirmations.
Affirmations.
They're affirmations, yeah. I do my affirmations each morning. Sometimes I'll add something to them, but I have a list that I have.
Great. Anybody else?
I have one more thing. When I was coming here, I read Abraham Hicks's Asking is Given, and I taught that in the Nashville Unity.
Yeah.
And I created a focus wheel. So I would, on the focus wheel, would write the affirmations, and in the center was the strongest intention. And they all bridged together. So I would read that that focus wheel. So I kept,
But the center had the intention and then affirmative work
yeah.
around it?
Yeah, the strongest intention is in the center, and then you write an affirmation that bridges what to that. You can't, if you say something, if you read Abraham Hicks, you've got to say something that actually bridges back to that strong intention, or it'll throw you off the wheel. You'll say something that you don't believe, and that's not going to bring you know, like one of the things I say is, you know, the good that I'm seeking is seeking me. And that bridges me back to what I'm creating. And I even say I am in gratitude of the wonderful talents and gifts that I have. Now, see, I can believe all that. I could write something down that I didn't believe, but it wouldn't be a focus wheel. It's the wheel. You go around 16 times. I mean, you go in 16 seconds, you change your vibration. So you create 16. Go get Asking is Given and go to that chapter on the focus wheel.
It's called a focus wheel.
It's the focus wheel.
So let me write it down for people watching. Focus wheel.
Focus wheel from Abraham Hicks. The book is called Asking It Is Given, and you create what you want. And I spoke about my, Anna knows this. I am here. I moved for my spirit to complete and fulfill its destiny. And I even added creating heaven on earth. I've never said that before. But I can actually believe that I could create heaven on earth for me and the others around me.
So could we say that our practice is just as personal as any other personal thing we do,
Yes.
right? I mean, we all bathe in a different way or eat it. I mean, we have it has to fit us, right? And I believe that it has to fit. Sometimes I'm like, for me, I journal a lot.
Yes.
It's how I release, I do affirmations, I talk to God, I talk to myself, I talk to people. It's like,
Journaling.
but there are times that I want to be silent. There are times that I want to listen to music. There are times that I do affirmative work. It really depends on at least for me, on the mood or the situation or, right? So, but whatever it is, we need it. It's like the core of everything else. if we are not fulfilling this part, and it's not that I don't want you to either go, I didn't meditate long enough, just flow with it. But the essence is to know that in the spiritual practice is where you're going to build your spiritual muscle and your consciousness muscle. Okay? Okay, great. So the second one, I'm going to share a story. And then you're going to tell me what it is. A young truth seeker went to an old sage one day and asked if the wise old man could help him find God. The sage replied, "Yes, I can help you find God. Come back tomorrow morning. Make sure you pray and meditate and affirm your oneness with Spirit in the meantime." The man was delighted. The next morning he went to the sage. "Okay, here I am, I'm ready." The sage said, "We'll have to cling to the top of that hill over there, pick up this backpack, and follow me." The truth seeker struggled to put the bundle on his shoulders, but managed to follow the sage. When they had only gone a few yards, the man called out to the sage to stop. "This backpack is too heavy. What do you have in here?" The sage said, "The backpack contains 5 large stones." "5 stones?" shouted the aspirant. "If it's too heavy for you, take one of the stones out and lighten your load." The aspirant did as the sage suggested. When he had only walked a few steps, he complained about the weight again. The sage advised him to toss one more stone aside. The trip up the hill was punctuated by the complaints, excuses, and pettiness of the aspirant. By the time they reached the top of the hill, the aspirant had thrown away all of the stones as well as the backpack. At the summit, he arrogantly told the sage, "Look, I've patronized you all the way up here. I don't see why I had to carry those stones in the first place. Were you going to build an altar or something? I don't see what carrying them has to do with finding God." The sage replied, "You would not climb the hill with 5 measly stones. How do you expect to find your godness when you have vices heavier than mere stones?" That is the central message of one of Jesus' Beatitudes. Blessed are those that are pure in heart, for they shall see God.
Yeah.
And so that's the next step. Purity of heart. Marianne Williamson, in her book, another good book that I strongly recommend, is based on Course in Miracles, right, Rita? We in the Tuesday group, we spent some time, The Law of Divine Compensation. Towards the end of the book, she says that being a pure heart is the way to create wealth. I'm going to quote her. Creating wealth through purity of heart is the miracle worker's greatest engine of wealth creation. Miracles are everyone's right, but purification is necessary first. And there's only one category of impurity that keeps miracles at bay, and that is lovelessness. So each time we put ourselves down, we don't forgive us, we judge ourselves, and we do that with others. It's really, we're not staying in purity.
We're not pure of heart.
No.
Yeah.
So, and she, and I'm not going to go into, but towards the end, she talks about 3 things to keep us pure of heart, but it's all going to be blended into what we're doing. But to me, this is so, because this has to do with the blockage. You know, when you cannot be pure in heart when you're judging.
I don't I just drink meat.
Right,
That's the bad
right.
thing.
But
Yeah.
that's what it's
I
both,
feel so
right.
much more compassion for other people.
right, but not for
Yeah.
you.
Myself.
But it doesn't matter.
And
And
I'm
that's what
working
scares
on
me, as you said, it doesn't matter with other people.
Right.
What you're saying is
You
really
can
good.
be like
Yeah.
all understanding with everybody else, but then you are,
Down on yourself.
Yeah.
That's
See, that's the one.
I'm just putting it out there because
No.
that's the deal.
Yeah, that's the
and
one.
many of us
that
feel
was
that
me
way.
too.
Yeah.
She said that. I went, oh, I
In
gotta
the
work on
Tuesday
that.
group, a couple of weeks ago, I went to see Marianne Williamson in Asheville, right? And they had this big conference, you were there, the big, oh, well, Elena was there. And remember that she had the love, it was the whole thing was love in action. And essentially, I think, I don't know if you're in agreement with me, that the core message of the conference was, don't rest on your laurels and go and move your butt, and take action and social action and all of that, which I know Melissa's big on. And we had, yeah, by the way, I do my public my advertisement here, which is, I'm not saying that is not, but I agree, it's about being, taking a stand, essentially.
Yeah.
However, I had some subtle pushback in the class, and this is a class where we have dialogue, right? So I was like, because some of them felt that it's the essence of the work has to be always internal. That was their point, right? And we had a whole discussion on that one. Somebody, I don't remember who the person was, but somebody said something that really stuck with me. She had heard this from some guru or some sort. And it was like, the greatest service we can give the world is to have self-love.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's really lovely.
And it's like, that was like an aha for me. Because that's where everything starts. It's true. So, going back to you, Barbara, I know you, and I know you are like the nicest person, but be nicer to your audience.
I mean,
Because it doesn't matter.
it
It doesn't matter where the judgment or the unforgiveness part comes, whether it's towards somebody else or yourself, but it's still a blockage. And if we, in order to see God and experience God in all this fullness, that's even. I wanted to bring some scripture, purity of heart.
Yeah.
Okay, because remember now, when we finish doing this, we're gonna take all the 40 and fit it into each category. Okay, third, did I give you this? I gave everybody one of these, right?
No.
No. It's a little tiny arrow.
Oh
I didn't know
my.
what to do with it, so.
Only Melissa has that?
No, I drew it.
I'm so sorry.
I'm like, am I preferring Melissa?
Yeah, we were.
By the way, if you're ever, okay, if you're ever too stressed or whatever.
Yeah, maybe nice, right? That's a thought, that's a good thought. Yeah, that's the type one to tap up too.
Oh, okay.
Visual
I'm
habit.
sorry.
Join my own.
Okay.
Thank you.
So now you have it beautiful there. Okay. So purity of heart. And any ideas of what the next should be? The next one is a two-part also.
Gratitude.
Yes, Mickey! Ding, 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 ding.
Yay.
Ding, 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 ding. So this is where the two G's come. Gratitude and giving. Okay?
So the purity of heart comes before that.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay.
See how each one supports the next. How can you be really grateful and giving and not, you're like full of resentments or judgment and not really doing your practice and not aware? Could never happen, right?
Wow.
It could be sporadic.
It could be sporadic, right? No, I know, no. But you know what I mean? It's like, even grateful for yourself.
Even grateful for
I
your,
really do.
for your
I-
quote unquote
My
mistakes.
stuff is
And your
carried
talents
over
and everything.
from back in the,
Okay.
from, you know, my orientation to religion.
Right.
And all the times that I didn't live up to, you know, I just got in the habit of being really hard on myself and criticizing. And, you know, and so it's like I have to break that habit.
She got here
Well-
just in time.
Right. It's like, you know, Carolyn Mice, the medical intuitive, she says that there's always something we need to heal.
Yeah,
Right.
I gotta hear that.
So it's like,
Full-time job.
it's a full-time job. And actually, that's the slogan of my radio show. It's in Spanish, Sanando y Prosperando Juntos. And my slogan is healing in order to prosper.
Oh,
That's what I feel that it's, when
means
we
that.
heal, we raise, you know, we're really raising the vibration and we prosper.
And that's why we're here.
Right, exactly.
So when you're a service-oriented business, things like donating time to charitable events and things like that, as well as for me personally, like the thing that the group has going on right now with basically donating oils and things to people who want to take part.
What you're saying, is that business or is that service? Is that
No,
your question?
I think it falls under the giving side of that.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of times I have been caught up and was early on within my business caught up in giving as far as money is concerned, and sometimes it's
Oh,
time and what you have. to give.
exactly. Thank you, Melissa. So in the giving, it's 3 T's. Everybody knows these 3 T's, right?
And treasure.
Time,
Talent.
talent, and treasure.
And treasure can be different things for different people.
Right. And you know, some people have no problem giving money, but have problem giving everything else. And other people don't have problems giving their time and their treasure and their talent, but it's just 3. And if we're having trouble with one of the 3s, that's where our healing work needs to be. Because again, part of our divine nature is just the giving. We are just, if the universe or the essence of God is good and giving and flowing, and we're not, and we are part of God and we're not manifesting that, there's a blockage, right? Okay, yes.
Well, you know, when I got here and I didn't have a job, I went over to Habitat for Humanity and I volunteered, and then, because they let me stage, I'm good at staging.
Right.
And they let me take these people's things and stage them in vignettes, and I love it, and they get sold immediately. But I was noticing, I was feeling guilty that I was giving away my time, and I needed to go get a job. It's kind of like my father's voice was in my head or something.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Go out and go and get that job.
Ah, get that job. What are you doing giving away your time? You don't need 4 hours there. But here, I mean, I'm getting that it's actually part of the prosperity thing. I'm really trying not to hear my father's voice. I'm just saying I had to see it this way.
Right.
Before I can just let go of that other old
But where
programming
is the
you were
balance?
talking about, Barbara. Huh?
So we're-
Bottom line. I mean, it's the way I see it. It's that when you are in the flow, you're guided to when it's time to take action and when it's time to not take action, right? But that we go back to here. If we stay connected to the source, it's through one of the things we're going to see in the questionnaire that we manifest prosperity through divine ideas. That divine idea that tells you, no, it's your time to do the Habitat for Humanity and not go out there and get a job. Or the divine idea that tells you, okay, you gave enough, it's time to take action.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we got those. Everybody good up to here? Okay. Nicola, good? Okay. Next one, I just wanted to make it as one category is like our worldly aspects. And the way I simplify it, it's like our career, relationships, and health. That's self-explanatory. Now the last one, people's favorite.
The finances.
What is it?
Money?
Money.
Money.
Money, 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 money.
And you know, like,
in exchange for what you want. So,
and then how are we going to name this triangle here?
It's our,
Abundance.
that like.
No,
It's our,
I don't like that.
No.
That's
No,
our
The
spiritual,
spiritual well-being.
spiritual well-being,
well-being.
yes. So, no, you missed much. So this is the triangle of spiritual well-being. Because to be in good spiritual health means you're abundant. I mean, right?
And in all those areas. I mean,
In all those
that's-
areas,
yeah.
right? So it means, so look at this. So are you telling me that if I don't have a practice and I'm not aware of truth, it's going to affect money? Yes. Are you telling me that if I'm not pure in heart, it's going to affect my health?
Yeah.
Yes.
I can attest to that.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you telling me that if I'm not grateful, it's going to affect my money? Yes.
Yeah.
So everything's built on the other. So I want you, because this is what I have come to understand through my own study of these principles, my life experiences. This is how I think the whole time. It's like I put it into practice every moment. I mean, I don't want to say that I'm perfect, but this is what my goals are. You know, am I giving? Am I grateful? Am I being grateful enough? Am I giving? What came to mind, let me just share a quick story. When we were back at Longview in the other building, I had dreamed for years of not only being a spiritual leader, but being a teacher, high school or school teacher. I love to teach. And they opened, at the time, they opened a new charter school next to the I had given up that idea. I was okay, I'm happy, I'm a unit minister full-time now. I'm happy, I didn't need to get a job in teaching or anything. However, as I look back, I realized that it was something that I was still wanting to experience. So one day, I'm at the church and the new school they had rented our facilities for registration. And I was there, and how I do the tithing, I always ask where I'm supposed to give the money at.
say it again.
That with the tithing of money, like I have like X percentage that will always go to Unity. That's like sacred. But I have like a wiggle room budget, right? That I always ask to see, where I'm just allowed to be led. So I'm sitting there. This is a new charter school. I see they had a vision to create like an art school, and I see the enthusiasm of the founders, and they're selling t-shirts to raise money, and I'm like, I could get a t-shirt, right, which was $20, and I decided to give them $100, right, just because that's what I was led to do. A week afterwards, I get a phone call from the founder saying, we are in need of a Spanish teacher, we are aware that you that you are a minister, but it's only one class, 2 sessions, and we will do it at the time and the day that you want us to.
Wow.
And I went, well, sounds good, you know, I'm like next door, and I remember I had that urge of, so I said, okay, and they said, would 8 o'clock, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday work for you? Normally, we don't start here at 8 o'clock, never, ever. Okay. So then Friday's my day off, so I'm thinking, that works, you know? So I said, yeah. So I taught for a year, made extra $10,000 that year.
Wow.
You know, realized that I love teaching, but not that much. I just had such high expectations of the students.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm another generation, but when 60% of them didn't do the homework, I was like, what? I'm going to call your parent. And I would call the parent, they would respond and like, oh my, you know, I'm like, so it was a confirmation that I needed to go on the spiritual path. And I'm not saying I honor school teachers, but I realized that it was not, I really want to stick to my spiritual teaching. Anyways, why was I sharing that? I just,
Because you're giving,
Putting all of those
right,
in
you
there.
know,
Keeping all of those.
right, but what I'm saying, I was trying to because Mickey and Rose were saying about, you know, when to do one or the other. It's to me, it's all about divine ideas. I see, for me, 10% of what we receive will have to go back. It's just a partnership that we have, and it's just the way it is. So I just asked, who am I supposed to give this to? But so I didn't do it so that I could get a job, but it just turned out I guess that when they saw, this is my assumption, when they saw the check and they were looking for a teacher, they said, oh, Nana, she's from Puerto Rico, you know, and I had some teaching, I even started a master's degree in education, so I did have credit in education and so on, anyways. Okay, so we don't have, I don't know how much we can get done with the whole questionnaire, but my point to you today is that whenever you think of a prosperity consciousness, you hear about abundance class, or can I build on my spiritual well-being, I want you to think it's in here. But everything will be sustained by here. This is your true security.
You said that if one of those are off, it affects everything. Is the reverse true? Like if you can get one of them straightened out, will it affect the others?
Like what?
You said that if one of those is off, like if you're not giving enough gratitude or something, it'll affect the other.
Oh yeah,
four.
it's all.
So, but if you fix gratitude, will it positively affect the others?
Because if you fix gratitude, it means that there's a new awareness in you, right? And maybe you were resentful with a person, and now because you got rid of that resentment, then you can be grateful for the lessons that person brought you, and then you start going back. It's almost like you're in the 540, and everything is like that's the expressway of your good. That's what Mary Morrissey says. It's 101.5. That's where the good comes. Now you start being resentful and judgmental, you get off to another station, and when you're off there, you're only gonna meet scarcity. You're not gonna. It's not gonna happen. You're gonna be stuck. Right. So, in other words, and you know, I realized that even in the business world, you can do a lot of things to make the business work, but it's the foundation is not there. Right. You have to put so much more effort. Years ago, I went to Ecuador for a business trip, and I stayed at a hotel where the manager at the time was like a metaphysician, and I had met him in Puerto Rico. years before. He had relocated to Ecuador. And I remember I had a session with, he was like a really wise person. And after meeting with him for an hour, he said, you know what your problem is still? Something you have not learned still? I said, what? I remember he said, you think that everything has to be done through effort and force.
Yeah.
But it's not, that's not the way it is. And I remember I walked out of there going, what did this guy mean? I did not see it, because when you're in business, you know, you have to go, you have to make it happen, you have to.
Yeah.
And it's not that you don't, I mean, you have to do your part. But what is your foundation? Is it fear? Is it desperation? Right? Do you have a noble purpose for what you're doing? Okay? Anyways, so we have 15 more minutes. Let's see if we can take the questionnaire, and I want you to tell me where do you think it goes.
Okay.
Each one?
I was gonna have it in teams. So this is team A and team B. So let's say you guys we're gonna keep score. And if you can discuss with one another, okay? If you know what I mean? So let's say the first one is so easy.
Yeah.
The first one says, I have some sort of spiritual practice. So let's say that if we do numbers here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So where would that one go? Of course, number 1. Number 2, I am patient with myself, even if I feel fear or other strong emotions. 2, yes. We don't, how many times we judge ourselves, I should not be feeling this way, I know better. No, you know, just let it be. Okay, I'm in fear right now, I have to inquire and see where is this fear coming from. But don't add up layers as to you're always, you know, pessimist or whatever. Okay. 3, I tend to focus more in giving than receiving. 3. I feel genuine joy and happiness when I give. 3. That's really important. You know, when we do the class on giving, we're going to see the different stages when we give out of duty or guilt, or when you're experiencing joy. Gosh, I'm giving this. Okay. Number 5, I try as much as I can to detach from outcome.
2. 1, awareness.
I had it 1. What do you think? Yeah, awareness. Number 6, I consider myself a person of increase.
I think 1.
Or 3.
Awareness.
I had it 3 because it's, you know, you want to see how much more you can give, how much more you can expand.
That was an awareness.
Yeah.
Sense, but, okay.
But everybody in agreement? Yeah. Okay. All we're doing here is really creating awareness. I mean, because a book, we can read the book, but now when you read the book, you're aware of, okay, I get it, why so much emphasis on gratitude. Okay. Okay. Number 7, I'm open to receive. There's a balance between giving and receiving. 3. And let me tell you, a prosperous person is a person who allows let others to give, right?
I know people are like that, where
Yeah.
they don't receive.
Right.
So if you give them something, they're going to do
Right.
something else.
Right.
You know, so you
They
know
stop
that they're
Because we put so much
careful.
emphasis on the giving,
Yes.
but you have to receive just as much.
Yes.
Why? There's a reason, many reasons, but why? If you're giving me something, Rose, and I don't accept it, I am not allowing you to give.
Right, you stop the flow.
I'm blocking you, right?
Yeah.
I do that in a demonstration where when I'm teaching, that you hand a book to someone, and I said the receiver is more powerful than the giver, because you can do this 3, 4, 5, 6 times, nothing changes, but the minute you accept it, something changes in the universe.
Right.
So the
Yes.
person that receives it has all the power,
Exactly.
and that's the circle.
It's a circle, definitely. And the Course in Miracles says that giving and receiving is the same thing. Okay, number 8. I feel free of resentment toward me and others. 2. Purity of heart. Number 9. I am willing to continue learning in all aspects of my life.
4. No.
I had it as 2.
I would say 2.
2. I mean, it's just to stay pure, as to, not to be ego-based, where I already know this stuff, I don't need to learn anything else.
Another level of expansion.
Right. So, okay, 10.
You said 2
for number 9. I recognize the value to offer my special talent in this world.
2.
Giving.
No.
I had it on 4. It's and we're going to be discussing your connection to life through the work you do. Okay, 11. I see the value of living in gratitude because it keeps me joyful. 3. 12. I experience gratitude most of the times. 3. I am open to divine ideas flowing from spirit. 1. 14. I'm worthy to live in total abundance. 2. I had 2.
Yeah.
Because you're not judging yourself for wanting, right? And saying I'm worthy. Okay. 15. I celebrate sincerely the success of other people. 2.
2.
You're not jealous or envious, right? Okay, 16. I'm willing to inquire in the reasons that makes. I know it's not the best English there, but the reason why to inquire why it's difficult for me to change. I had 2.
Yeah.
Okay. 17. My relationship with money is good and even harmonious. 5. 18. I don't see money as something that is hard to get. 5. It's all money. This is easy. 19. I see balance in the way I earn, I spend, I invest, I save, and I give. It's all money. This section is all money. 20. I would say that I save mostly as an opportunity fund, not as an emergency fund. We're going to be talking about this later.
I like that.
5.
Yeah. It starts out as an emergency fund. So,
Right. But we're going to discuss why.
Okay.
Okay, 21. I'm open to learning about sound money management practices. 5. 22. I spend less time worrying about money and trusting more.
1.
2. It's 5 for sure. But
I had 5, but it could be related to
Could be
1.
1 and
5.
23. I flow with life, trusting that the universe will provide abundantly.
What?
1. 24. It gives me happiness that my consciousness and presence impact others positively. 2. 25. There is integrity between what I say and what I do. 2. More and more I realize that God is the source of my supply. 1. Most of the time I feel peace and a sense of freedom. 1. Abundance is a state of consciousness that makes all the difference in life.
3.
I had 1. It's an awareness. 29. I see the value of making a spiritual investment in the community and the world.
That's awareness.
1. 30. My lifestyle reflects my true spiritual values.
1.
It could be 1 or 2. 1.